What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to teach you how to do an oil change with a fluid evacuator pump. So let's get started. The first thing we want to do is start the car and let it run for a few minutes. What that does is that it warms the oil, and when oil is warm, the oil gets thinner. The thinner the oil, the easier it is to remove. So let's start the car. After a few minutes of the car running, I shut off the engine, and now I'm gonna let the car sit for about 15 minutes so that all the oil can drop back down to the oil pan. Okay, it's been 15 minutes. Now let's get to doing the actual oil change. First, let's take off this engine cover. All you have to do is pull on it. First, let's change the oil filter located right here. Also, make sure to wear gloves. To remove the oil filter, I have a 12-inch breaker bar, 10-inch extension bar, and a 74mm 14-flute oil filter wrench. Let's remove the oil filter in a lefty-loosey, righty-tighty manner. There you go, it's loose. Now, let's loosen it the rest of the way by hand. Make sure to let all the oil in the oil filter to drain back into the oil pan. Keep some paper towels underneath. Make sure to clean up any oil that you spilled. To remove the oil filter, you can just pull it out. There you go. Make sure to clean the oil filter housing very thoroughly. Also, remove this O-ring right here and make sure to replace it. To remove it, you can just use a flathead screwdriver. Slide it underneath it and just pull it out. Now, let's get the new O-ring and put it on. I put the new O-ring on. Now let's install the new oil filter. Here is the new oil filter. All you have to do is insert it, and you want to hear that click. That means that the oil filter is properly inserted. Also, lubricate the O-rings that are here and here with oil. Before we reinstall the oil filter, be sure to clean this area up very thoroughly. Let's first hand tighten the oil filter on. Now, let's tighten it up the rest of the way until it's snug. There you go. Now it's snug. To remove the oil from the car, we're going to be using one of these fluid evacuators. I only recommend you use this if your car has underbody panels that you would have to remove to get to the oil pan. First, we're going to remove the dipstick. Now, we're going to insert this tube of the fluid evacuator into the dipstick hole. Make sure it's inserted all the way in. Now, let's give this about 15 pumps. As you can see, the oil is starting to come out. If you notice that the oil flow is starting to slow down, you can just give this a few pumps. As you can see, we took out most of the old oil, and now it's time to refill it. About 4.5 quarts came out of the engine. Make sure to reinstall the dipstick. Before we refill the oil, be sure to clean up the area surrounding the oil cap very well. Look at how much dirt we removed. We definitely don't want this to go inside the engine. Let's take the cap off. Be sure to clean the bottom of the cap and this fill area right here. To fill the oil, I'm going to put this funnel in the fill area. To find out your oil grade and your oil capacity, be sure to check out your owner's manual. Since 4.5 quarts came out of the engine, I'm going to fill the engine with 3.5 quarts before I check and adjust the fluid level from there. After filling about 3.5 quarts, the oil level is almost at the max. So I'll just fill it another 1 quart and then we'll check the fluid level then. After making sure the oil was at the correct level, I reinserted the dipstick and put the oil cap back on. Now, let's start the engine and make sure there are no leaks in this oil filter area. I've started the engine and there are no unusual sounds and there are no leaks. So that is a good sign. Let's shut off the engine. Now that we made sure everything is good, let's install the engine cover. Okay guys, I hope you learned a lot from this video. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, drop a like, and leave a comment down below. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.